Hey folks, JR, back for another episode of Echoes of Shannon Street Case File. It's going to be episode 101, Firing Line is Hot. We're going to continue with the TBI examination of rounds recovered from the crime scene. And this will do it for this, and then next episode we'll get into the fairly long TAC unit memo, an overview of what happened during the Shannon Street event from the perspective of the TAC unit, which should be interesting. Alright folks, without further ado, let's just dive right into it. Alright, we'll start with 70C, 70 Charlie. That's one fired Remington Peters 38 Special Plus P cartridge case. TBI says that round was fired from Exhibit 10. Exhibit 10 is Bobby Hester's pistol, his Model 10 pistol. Now, we know Bobby Hester didn't fire any rounds, so that round that they recovered there would have been fired by a suspect. 70 Delta, 14 fired .223 Remington cartridge cases. Now 70D is 14 fired .223 cartridge cases. You had one fired from Exhibit 1, which is Summers M16, 3 fired from Exhibit 2, which is Rutherford's, 7 fired from Exhibit 3, which is Hubbard's, and we got 3 fired from Exhibit 4, which is Watson's M16. So they've recovered casings from all 4 of the TAC officers in the house that were armed with M16s. 70E is one fired 70 jacket bullet. And 70E bears the same class characteristics as the test bullets from Exhibit 6 through 10, while those are all 38 caliber pistols. So what TBI is saying is, yeah, we can confirm it's a 38 caliber pistol bullet, but we don't know which gun it came from. The rounds probably mushroomed and flattened, and they probably can't tell one thing from the other. All right, 71A, 11 fired Remington Peters .223 cartridge cases, and 71A, 9 were fired from Exhibit 4, which is Watson. 1 was fired from Exhibit 2, that's Rutherford, and 1 from Exhibit 1, that's Summers. And again, you can identify the spent casings from the M16s. The hard part's trying to identify bullets that come from those guns, because those bullets are traveling so fast when they hit stuff, they just disintegrate. And all you've got is a bunch of pieces. What security squad didn't do, and we mentioned this before, was security squad should have asked each TAC officer, how many magazines did you take, or how many clips did you take into the house? I guess in this case it'd be magazines for the M16s. But irregardless, how many did you carry in there and how many rounds in each magazine? And then they should have counted whatever they had left, whatever they came out of the house with, and they subtract those from what they said they had starting out, and that would give them a rough idea of how many rounds each TAC officer fired. As far as I know, they didn't do that. I hadn't seen it in the statements, and I hadn't seen it in any paperwork yet, so chance miss there. Okay, 71B. 71B is 2 fired Remington Peters 12 gauge buckshot shell cases. 71B, they were fired from Exhibit 5, so we know they came from KK McNair's shotgun. And again, it's easy to identify the cases for the shotguns, the empty hulls. You can't identify anything else, the wadding or the 9 lead pellets that come out. All right, 72 is a lead fragment. 72 is too mutilated for comparison purposes. 73, 3 fired R&P 38 special plus P cartridge cases. 73 was fired from Exhibit 10, and again, that's from Bobby Hester's pistol, and they would have been fired by a suspect. 74A, 1 fired semi-jacket bullet. 74A and 74B bear the same characteristics as any of the 5 38 caliber pistols, Exhibits 6 through 10. 74C, 1 fired R&P 223 Remington cartridge case. 74C was fired in Exhibit 1, that's from Summers M16. 74D, 1 fired R&P 12 gauge tear gas shot shell case. 74D was not fired from Exhibits 5 or 11. Now that's the shotguns carried by the attack officers that went in the house, McNair and Ray. Now we know that would back up what the officers said in their statements, because we know that the tear gas shot shells that would have been recovered would have been from the outside of the house, and they would have been fired by attack officers who did not enter the house. 74E, 1 fired R&P 12 gauge double-aught buck shot shell. 74E was fired from Exhibit 5, that's KK McNair's shotgun. 75A, 4 fired R&P 223 cartridge cases. 75A was fired in Exhibit 1, that's Summers. 75B, 1 fired lead core, and TBI says, yep, that's what it is. It's a lead bullet core. 75C, 1 plastic wadding. Obviously, all TBI can say is, yeah, it's plastic shot shell wadding. There's no way to know what shotgun it was fired from. 75D, 4 lead core. And TBI says, yeah, they're lead core and 3 shot pellets consistent of double-aught buck. There's 9 pellets in double-aught buck, so they found 3 of the 9. And then we got 76A, 9 fired R&P 223 cartridge cases. 76A, they were fired in Exhibit 4, and that's Watson's M16. All right, 76B, 5 fired R&P 38 special plus P cartridge cases. And they were fired in Exhibit 8. And Exhibit 8, that's going to come from Russ Aiken, his pistol. And 76C, Charlie, that's 1 R&P 12 gauge double-aught buck shot shell case and 1 R&P number 4 buck shot shell case. And that's all it's got. They say they were fired from Exhibit 5. And Exhibit 5, that's KK McNair's shotgun. Now, 76D is 18 fired 223 Remington cartridge cases. That's 12 were fired from Exhibit 4, which is Watson. 2 were fired in Exhibit 3, that's Hubbard's M16. and 4 were fired in Exhibit 1. That's going to be submarines M16. 77A, 1 lead core, and is consistent with a lead bullet core. That was a shocker, I'm sure, to you all. Exhibit 77A2, that's metal jacket fragment, and it's too mutilated for comparison purposes. Exhibit 77A3 is a lead fragment, and it's consistent with a lead bullet core. 77B1 was fired in Exhibit 9. That's 6 fired, 38 plus P. And they were fired from the pistol that Swill had, Officer Swill. We know Swill got off 1 round outside the yard when they were fighting for the pistol. Any other round fired from the gun were fired by Lindbergh Sander, because we know we had Swill's pistol. Exhibit 77B2, 7 fired .223 Remington cartridge cases. And you had 3 fired from Exhibit 4, which is Watson's M16, 2 from Exhibit 1, that's Summers. 2 have similar characteristics as test cases from Exhibit 3, so they're saying those are probably Hubbards, but they can't say exactly. 77 Charlie is 1 fired Super .223 Remington cartridge case. It was fired in Exhibit 4, that's Watson. Exhibit 81, and that's 1 fired Remington Peters .223 cartridge case, and it has the similar characteristics to Exhibit 1, which is Summers M16. They're not saying it exactly, but they're saying it's probably pretty close. All right, folks, that's going to wrap up this episode. I know for a lot of you it's pretty dry stuff, and it is, but this is a part of police work that they don't show in the movies and TV shows, because it's just dry, but it's necessary to be able to try to corroborate statements of the police officers. You always want to try to match that up with evidence recovered at the scene, forensic evidence. Anyways, all right, that's we're gonna move on to the TAC unit summary of what they did on Shannon Street, and we'll see what they have to say. We'll see if there's any little extra comments in there above and beyond just stating the facts. All right, folks, appreciate you. I'll see you down the road.